Hey guys, Mark here. I'm out in the woods today with Logan, and as you can tell from the intro, we set up a bow drill kit. It's been a while since I've done one. The reason why I haven't done one in so long is because I actually prefer hand drill. I've had more luck with hand drill. I find it easier, believe it or not. But really, that's really what I put my focus to. When I started learning, back when I started learning the hand drill, I kind of ditched. I stopped using the bow drill, and I figured it's time to do a review on it. So as you saw from the beginning, I took a piece of hemlock that I had packed out of here yesterday while I was in here with Logan. Yesterday when I was building this bench, and we're gonna finish that up today. We split it all up, we got it ready to go, and spindle's ready. But this time, instead of using paracord or anything else, we're actually going to use jute for the bowstring. Now, as you can see here, I've got the jute on the thing, and basically what you're going to want to do. This is completely different from what you've been doing before. Always, when you were doing a bow drill, for example, you would have your line on your spindle like this, and as you go back and forth, the two pieces rub against each other, and if you've got kind of questionable cordage, it'll burn and snap. But there's another method you could do. It's going to help you out and not cause that issue. It's called the Egyptian method. So basically, all you're going to have to do is tie a little clove hitch at the center of your thing, and you're at the center of your spindle, and then you're going to tie your string on, and your string should actually look like this. You want it to be somewhat even on both sides, so when you're going forward and backwards, you're going to have some slop, and that's not what you're used to, I know, but that's how we're going to do it to get this one done. So it's got to be as even as you can get it. It's not perfectly even, but it's going to do. The bow drill is actually a little bit longer than I like, but that doesn't matter. So the bow itself is a little longer than I like. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to take your string, and you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 wraps. Now, the amount of wraps you use really just depends on how much cordage you have. I usually try to aim for 3, sometimes 4. Doesn't really matter in this case, but you want to try to make it as even as possible. So if you've wrapped in this direction, on one end, you have to wrap the opposite direction on the other end. So 2, 3, 4. Now you should be able to put your stick up. That's okay, it's not too bad. See if we can get another one. Yeah, we got another one that took up a lot of the slack. So we got some slack there. It's going to be wiggly. It's going to move around, but that's okay. Now, you'll see when you're pulling and you're pushing on your drill set. I can show you this. It's too hard to show you. But you know what? We're just going to go ahead and do a burn-in. And the whole purpose for this is as you're going forward and as you're going backwards, your string, as you can see how it's set up on here, you got one up and one down. They're not going to rub against each other, and they're not going to interfere with each other. So let's go down on the ground here. We'll set up. We'll get this thing lit, and we'll go from there. Just to give you a quick look, I'm using a piece of a hemlock that I've actually put 4 holes into. I do that so as one starts to burn in a little bit farther, I just simply pull it out, change holes, and just keep it going that way. And that way you don't have to worry about your bearing block wearing down too much. And if you have to adjust your other one, well, you got no choice. You know, your spindle, you have to sharpen it up from time to time if you don't get it. So let's go ahead and we'll set up and get burnt in. Okay, we got a decent burn in, so we're on our way. Now we just have to carve our notch and we'll be in business. There we go. So you want to make sure not to put your notch too far in, otherwise you're going to keep popping out. Unfortunately, with the Egyptian bow drill method, that's something you have to contend with quite often, is your spindle is going to want to pop out quite often. So you got to be diligent to try to keep your form right. and should be okay. Unfortunately, I made my spindle a little bit short for me. Usually I like to make my spindle quite long. I find it's easier for me to keep my my bearing block and everything in line and lock my arm in with my knee. When the spindle is too short, I have an issue with that. So my form's gonna look like crap, but it doesn't matter, we should get results. So it is actually more important than any other method to make sure that your fire, your fire lay is prepared. You want to have enough smalls and all that stuff ready to catch your flame. You want to have your larger sticks and all that stuff on the side. In my case today, I'm just gonna catch it on fire, and then I've got a few there's a few branches lying around on the ground or whatever we're going to use, but all our smalls are prepared and ready to go, and I've got my tinder bundle ready to go. Now, just to show you, we're using a birch bark tinder bundle today. I've got all my light fluffy stuff up on top because that's the one that's going to be easiest to catch, and then we have all the larger stuff, the heavier stuff on the bottom, which should be once it catches, it's going to be more substantial. It's going to burn longer and hotter. So we're going to go ahead and use this. We're going to get our ember going, and then we're going to light up our fire, and we're going to cook some bacon. That's right, bacon. Bacon and cheese sandwiches on croissants today for lunch. So let's hope this works. Let's get her done. All right, so we got our ember. We're just going to give it some time to grow. Any remaining dust on there, we'll put onto the pile. Get our tinder bundle. Make sure we got a nice little bucket for it to land into.
Second.
All right, take two. We got our ember. Now please back up. There we go, guys. We got our flame. Turn her over. So there you have it, guys. The Egyptian style bow drill. Had a little trouble with it. It's been a long time since I've done anything like this, but we got her done. So there we go. Let's get some bacon on. So guys, as you saw, the Egyptian method is kind of finicky. I won't say that it's not. If you have good cordage, I would absolutely suggest that you go ahead and use the traditional method and just go ahead and do that. But as you saw, the Egyptian style method is actually quite good for questionable materials. It definitely stood up to 2 goes, 2 different embers. We were able to, that one cord lasted the whole time, and at the end the cord went into the garbage, into the fire, along with the kit. So it was just a good test to get it going, and I wanted to show you that method in case you're ever stuck out with some questionable materials, or you don't want to have to damage your shoelaces or whatever it is while you're making a bow drill kit. You can go ahead and do that. Take your shoelace out, do the Egyptian style method. Spin out a couple of embers and whatever you need, and then put all that stuff right back in there, and you don't have to worry about damaging your gear. So bacon. Okay, put it down. Oh, it's nicely cooked too. So there you go, guys. Bacon filled croissants with some nice strong cheddar cheese. Can't go wrong. We got the last few pieces of bacon fired in the pan. Now we'll just nibble on later, but great stuff. So bacon cooked on the fire. I'm losing my sandwich. What the hell? Bacon cooked on the fire is just so good. Listening to that sizzle just makes me happy. It really does. That's it. There you go, you got it. So guys, there's 2 main reasons why you'd want to practice your friction fires. Reason number one is obvious. If you're ever in a survival situation and you need it, you have it. You can find a couple of branches or whatever it is, use your shoelace and start a fire. But the second one is that it gives you practice on creating the properties you need for a proper tinder bundle. And that is 50% of the deal. A lot of people are more concerned about getting the ember. Getting the ember is only half the job. You have to make sure that you can complete the whole process to a fire. So if you go out and you spin out an ember and you're like, yeah, I can do a friction fire. No, you didn't get a fire, you just got an ember. So don't fool yourself, guys. When you get out there and you're practicing your thing, don't stop at the ember. Create a tinder bundle. Make sure that you create the properties you need to catch that ember, to make it easy enough for that ember to grow. Like on the first attempt that you saw, I spun out my thing. I got cocky. I ended up I got my ember, but I didn't create the birch bark. I didn't peel it up small enough. I didn't get the really fluffy stuff up on top. After inspecting it, to find out why I failed, I realized that the tinder bundle had a bunch of the larger stuff on top. So when I was trying to blow out the flame, it just wouldn't catch, wouldn't get hot enough. So I took those pieces, I shredded them all up even smaller, packed them back on top, dropped my ember in, blew it, and bam, it lit. It was pretty easy to light. But that just goes to show how important it is to do that. So make sure when you get out and you're practicing your friction fires, finish it with a fire. don't just finish at the ember. Make sure you can get it all the way. Then you know your skill's 100%. And you'll realize that if you're in a situation where you actually need a friction fire and you're exhausted and you're depleted and you're out of energy and you're dehydrated and you manage to get that first ember, if your tinder bundle isn't done, you might not be able to spin out a second one. Just a few thoughts. Get out there, practice, blow at the flame, burn your kit, start again. That's the way to become a champion at friction fires. All right, guys, I'll give you a quick look what we're looking at here. So we got our all our planks down. There's one more piece I'm going to want to swap out, but for now it's working okay. So I think it'll do just fine. Bench is completed. Logan got some saw practice in, so that's pretty good. How do you feel? Yeah. And so that's it for now. Sorry, guys, we got the bench done. I think it's pretty comfortable. You think it's comfortable?
Yeah, it's comfortable. Yeah.
Seems to be all right. There's a couple of pieces I want to swap out of there eventually, but there's no need for it now.
This one's spiky.
Right now, we're comfortable. We're good. We're sitting down. And, I mean, there's quite a bit of room here. I could fit another guy my size or another child beside me, which is all right. But all things considered, it was a great day. So I hope you guys will get out and give that Egyptian-style bow drill a try. You know, maybe try it with natural cordage or something else if you want, just to see how it'll work for you. But all things considered, like I said, guys, practice makes perfect. So the more you get out there and the more you practice, the better you're going to get. So I want to thank you all for watching me, and all those guys, all those new subscribers out there who joined the channel recently. Really appreciate seeing you guys around, and it's great hearing your comments. And for all those guys that have been around forever, thank you so much. I appreciate you all. And thanks for watching. We're going to get out of here. Starting to get a little dark in here. And we'll see you on the next one. So you guys get out and explore. Take care, guys. Is that all of it? So guys, there's two main reasons why you'll want to practice your friction fires. So guys, there's two main reasons why you want to practice your friction. Are you aching? Yup. For some bacon? Yup.